Vanilla Valheim's experience is already rich, but what happens when we start tweaking things using more immersive mods? I've tested 5 mods that shift how you play the game. Some of them truly felt like game changers, others were more like the cherry on top. Great additions, but not a new cake entirely. For this video I've chosen a mix of well-known mods and others that might fly under the radar. Now, I'd usually count myself more on the purist side of the Valheim spectrum. Big fan of the original feel with a few quality of life touches. But I'm also curious. I wanted to challenge my own bias and see what's actually out there. So I asked myself, what shifts the experience, what flows with it, and what maybe gets in the way? This is my perspective based on playing and testing, but in the end, you decide if one of these mods might be worth trying. Or if you'd rather keep Valheim exactly the way it is. Mod Exploration. Number 1. Magical Mounts. I stumbled upon this while scrolling through the mod list on Thunderstore, and the logo instantly caught my attention. I mean, a rainbow unicorn? That felt totally not Viking, but fun, and honestly, it looked like something I just had to try. So I did. This is the mod for you if you've ever dreamed of riding a majestic dragon or cruising through the plains on a magical steed. The Magical Mounts mod promises exactly that. Beautifully crafted, highly detailed companions to carry you across the 10th world. But is taming a cosmic unicorn really as easy as it sounds? At first glance, this mod is stunning. You'll find detailed creatures, ornate saddles, and beautiful decorative statues for each mount. There's a whole new system added with special items like cosmic treats to tame them, cosmic cells to carry them with you, even cosmic potions to transform into them. There are a few different ways to use mounts. Some are wild and can be tamed, others are summons that appear directly via hotbar. But here's the catch. These creatures don't spawn naturally. The mod creator intentionally avoided cluttering your world to avoid causing performance issues. That means you'll either need to summon them manually via dev commands or craft them much later in the game, specifically once you've reached AllTameable level, which is Mistland's progression. But even then, the crafting recipes? Let's just say they're not as easy to manage. For example, to craft a cosmic cell, you'll need 1000 raspberries and blueberries. Not only is that a serious grind, but you literally can't carry that much without a separate mod for inventory management or crafting from containers. I didn't find an easy way to change this in the in-game config manager, but if you're comfortable editing config files directly, it might be possible to adjust. Dev commands work, but they're not ideal for players unfamiliar with Valheim's backend, or for those who just prefer not to use them. You'll need to look up the prefab names for each creature, and while it's doable, it requires some documentation reading and a bit of patience. I also ran into some issues with the mount book at first, but eventually figured it out. You need to select a mount in the book, then close it and finally press 10 to mount your chosen companion. If you're using an in-game configuration manager, there are some helpful options. And honestly, I think using a config manager is a must if you're working with mods. It just makes things easier. Overall, getting everything up and running isn't exactly plug and play. But if you're patient and enjoy customizing your setup, the payoff can be magical. Riding itself feels great for the most part, though you might encounter a few glitches here and there. And while some creators claimed that mounts can pull cards, I couldn't get that to work either in my test run. My take. Would I use it again? Despite the bumps along the way, I have to say, these creatures are incredible. It's clear the designs were made with love, joy, and attention to detail. The decorative statues alone are worth checking out if you're into building and aesthetics. If you're comfortable with dev commands or just enjoy experimenting and don't mind a bit of setup, this mod can add a magical flair to your Valheim journey. But if you are more of a plug-and-play player, it might be a bit too much hassle for what it offers. For me, it's not a must-have for every playthrough, but definitely something fun to revisit if you want to explore the world on the back of something beautiful and maybe just a little bit ridiculous in the best way. Of course, not all mods featured here are purely aesthetic. Next, we explore mods that add new, exciting mechanics to the game. Mod Exploration. Number 2, EpicLoot. Do you know that rush of excitement when you finally get a rare, powerful item in a game like WoW or Diablo? Valheim's EpicLoot mod promises to inject that exact feeling into your Viking adventures. But does this EpicLoot journey fit the world of Valheim, or does it change the core experience a bit too much? Let's dive in. EpicLoot introduces a whole new loot system to Valheim. Defeated mobs now have a chance to drop powerful weapons and armor with magical effects ranging from common to extremely rare and powerful mythic quality. But it doesn't stop there. You'll build and upgrade a new enchanting table which lets you sacrifice unwanted trophies or magic gear to gain materials. These are used to enchant, reroll stats, or even completely transform crafted or looted items, giving you fine-tuned control over your equipment. Even Haldor, our beloved trader, gets an upgrade. He now offers crafting materials, unique wares, and bounties. Quests that send you hunting specific creatures for tokens, which then can be exchanged for magical items or ingredients. And if you're feeling lucky, there's even a gambling mechanic. Buy mystery items from Haldor with a chance they'll turn out better or worse than expected. My take: would I use it again? EpicLoot undeniable adds excitement and new goals to your Valheim experience. Hunting mobs feels more rewarding, crafting becomes deeper, and getting a rare drop really hits that dopamine sweet spot. However, all that power comes at a cost. The game can quickly become easier, sometimes too easy. That said, it's not completely effortless. To enchant, reroll, or augment legendary and mythic gear, you still need to gather rare materials and invest time into the system. So in that way, the challenge doesn't disappear, it just shifts into a different kind of grind. So in the end, it wasn't a mod for me. And if you enjoy the careful balance and pacing of vanilla Valheim, it might push things a bit too far. But if you're craving that satisfying loot loop, love optimizing gear, or just want more reasons to head out and fight, EpicLoot could be exactly what your Viking adventure needs. There's one question you need to answer. Does it make Valheim more exciting? You decide. A quick bonus tip before we continue our mod exploration. All of the mods I'm introducing here come with settings you can tweak. Things like difficulty levels, drop rates, crafting costs, and more. If you want to adjust those options quickly and easily, I truly recommend using a config manager like WebInX Configuration Manager by Esumet or Configuration Manager by Shunda. They let you fine-tune your experience without digging through config files directly, and are especially helpful when you're juggling multiple mods. You'll find links in the description. Mod Exploration number 3, Jewelcrafting. Another mod that tweaks your gear and introduces new mechanics is Jewelcrafting. With it you can socket gemstones into weapons and armor, unlocking powerful effects and personalizing your build. But there's a catch. Power doesn't come without effort. A touch of risk. Let's dig in and see if Jewelcrafting is the right fit for your Viking adventure. Jewelcrafting introduces a completely new layer of crafting, all centered around gemstones. As you explore, you'll find glowing formations scattered throughout the world. Mine them to gather rough stones, refine them into usable gems, and socket them into your gear for powerful bonuses. But here's the twist. Refining and socketing involve chance. Fail and you lose your gem or even your gear. You'll gain skill over time, improving your chances, but risk is always part of the equation. The mod also introduces world bosses, tough enemies designed for later game progression. Defeating them rewards you with valuable loot which you can trade with a new trading post that you have to discover in a similar way than the regular ones. This shop updates regularly, giving you a reason to check back. Something I highly recommend: craft the spinning rainbow gems early. They unlock a helpful companion that explains each gem's effect. That way you can prioritize the right clusters instead of blindly mining everything in sight, which saves you time and frustration. And here's something I learned the hard way. By default, the world bosses are set to Ashland's difficulty. If you're doing a fresh playthrough, consider lowering that in the config to Plains or Mistlands, unless you enjoy getting completely wrecked like I did. My take. Would I use it again? Personally, I found Jewelcrafting exceptionally balanced and rewarding. It doesn't overpower the game, it deepens it. Whether you're after small conveniences like featherfall or strategic upgrades like adding a wishbone effect to your gear, there's a lot to experiment with. And despite the power, I never felt invincible. The risk factor keeps things grounded and I always had to work for my upgrades. The in-game tips and companion are genuinely helpful, probably more helpful than my stubborn trial and error approach if we're being honest. Overall, Jewelcrafting enriches Valheim without compromising its spirit. At least that's my opinion. Could it become your new favorite way to play? You decide. Maybe you're not the warrior type, maybe you're more into different ways to change the way Valheim plays out. Stick around, I made sure to include mods for you as well. But first, here's one that might fill some gaps for you. Mod Exploration, number 4. Warfare and Armory mods. Have you ever felt frustrated that your preferred weapon type isn't available at your current stage of progression in Valheim? The Warfare mod tackles exactly that, offering a complete overhaul of weapon availability, including specialized arrows. And paired with Armory, which introduces armor variants, the two mods together offer a much broader range of gear customization. Let's sharpen our blades and see if this combo is the perfect fit for your playstyle. Warfare dramatically expands Valheim's combat possibilities. It fills weapon type gaps at every tier, meaning you'll never again have to wait until Iron to wield your beloved two-handed sword. More into range combat? Warfare has you covered with the Fletcher's Table, offering specialized arrows, like blunt bone arrows for pierce-resistant foes, and new bows and crossbows for strategic variety. Armory, on the other hand, focuses on armor variants. It not only adds defensive variety, but also functions as a smelter with generous storage space, streamlining your crafting and resource management. Many vanilla materials finally get a new purpose here, giving your stockpiles fresh value. Keep in mind, none of this comes easily. You'll need to hunt, gather, and invest real-time effort to craft these tools. Wrap up. Would I use it again? I found Warfare and Armory to be a well-balanced combo, offering more ways to lean into your preferred playstyle without overpowering the game. It doesn't trivialize the difficulty, it simply gives you more options to adapt your gear as you progress. Crafting special equipment takes effort, which makes each upgrade feel genuinely earned. If you're looking for extra depth and flexibility without breaking the spirit of Valheim, this combo might be a perfect addition. As always, your Viking journey is yours to shape. Mod Exploration, number 5. AllTameable Taming Overhaul. Want trolls guarding your base, or even your very own army of deer? With AllTameable Taming Overhaul, the possibilities for companionship are nearly limitless. From the cute to the colossal, this mod lets you tame almost anything in Valheim. Let's see how it works and whether it fits into your Viking story. This mod allows you to tame nearly every creature in the game, from gentle deer and timid hares to intimidating trolls, dwarves, and yes, even bosses. It also introduces a unique breeding system. Through selective breeding, your companions can develop different colors, sizes, strengths, and weaknesses, allowing for a more personalized approach to your Viking menagerie. You'll gain access to specialized tools, foods, and even a set of taming gear. These not only speed up the taming process, but also provide helpful insights into the animals or humanoids you're interacting with. Importantly, this mod doesn't change the natural behavior of wild creatures, it simply adds depth to how you can interact with them. That makes it a great addition for farming, resource gathering, or just giving your base some lively character. Would I use it again? Spending time
A few hours later.
Taming every kind of creature isn't really my cup of meat, but I can totally see the appeal. If you're into that kind of creative freedom, the options this mod gives you are honestly pretty astonishing. For players who enjoy nurturing, collecting, or customizing, this mod opens up a world of creative opportunities. It doesn't drastically change Valheim's gameplay, it adds a whole new layer to it. During my testing, I tamed Eikthyr. It didn't break the game, but let's just say a proud creature like him isn't that easy to handle. I can only imagine what might happen if you tame the queen. Probably she's not a low-maintenance pet. If you've ever dreamed of a bustling base filled with exotic and weirdly adorable creatures, this mod is a must-try. Is it your cup of meat? Only one way to find out. Mod Exploration. Number 6. Seasons. Imagine your Valheim world transforming through beautiful seasons. Spring's bloom, summer's heat, autumn's vibrant hues, and winter's snowy embrace. The Seasons mod introduces exactly that, visually enriching your Viking experience and subtly altering gameplay. Each season brings unique challenges: icy rivers in winter, slowed plant growth in fall, abundant harvests in summer, and vivid spring rebirth. Seasonal decorations like midsummer crowns become available in specific seasons, adding immersion and charm. Careful though, winter demands more firewood, summer brings overheating risks, and breeding habits shift seasonally, ensuring the environment constantly feels alive. Wrap up. Would I use it again? I really enjoyed how each season changed the look and feel of the world. It adds a lot of atmosphere, but I'm still not sure if I wanted to include it in a full playthrough. Maybe, depending on the vibe I'm going for. Seasons offers immersive aesthetic charm and gently shifts your survival strategies without overwhelming core gameplay. A beautiful way to experience Valheim afresh. Just watch your frame rate. Here's my overall statement. As you explore these deeper game-changing mods, my advice is simple. Start small. Introducing too many mods at once can quickly overwhelm you and disrupt the game's balance and enjoyment. You'll find links to the mods featured in this video in the description, as well as a link to my Google Sheet that includes all mods I've tested so far. Want to see a part 2 with more underrated mods? Or a full guide for one of the ones I've covered today? Tell me in the comments, and if this video helped or inspired you, consider giving it a like. It really helps the channel grow. Until next time, keep exploring, experimenting, and having fun in Valheim. See you in the next adventure. Skål!